We there?
Yes, we are. We are live. Hello, people. You are watching Chat Her Up. Myself, Dr. Joy, pre PhD, which means absolutely nothing. And this one over here is Callie.
Come chat with Kelly. We ready.
Today, we are going to review Love and Marriage Huntsville, season 5, episode 11. I think that's wrong, but that is what my DVR says. So that's what I'm going to go with.
You think that's wrong? Season 5, episode 11.
Oh, we know it is. Carlos explained it. He said that Oprah gave him 30 episodes this season. And he split them up 15 and 15. Which also tells us that they only have 4 more episodes left for this season.
Okay.
So here's the question. Here's actually one of my questions. I actually got 2 to start off as people kind of pipe in. Let's rate the episode 1 through 10. So any way you want to,
I would rate it a 6.5. 7.
I actually agree with that. It was a lot of fluff in this episode.
It was
a lot of fluff.
Really weird.
It was fluff.
Yeah.
And here's my next question. It goes with it. It actually goes with this. Is this season too long?
I don't think it's too well. Yes and no. I don't think it's too long, but with what we're being able to see, it's too long.
Yeah.
It'd be okay if it was not so much fluff.
Yeah.
If there was more substance to it.
Yeah. So that's how you lose people.
Yeah.
Like, this is a really good show. One of the reasons I think that people are so attracted to Huntsville is that it was so authentic.
Yeah.
It felt real. While I know that there's always the element of redos and callbacks to redo, that's just the nature of filming. I get that. Huntsville generally felt real.
It did. The first few seasons, it did feel real. And then
it's starting to kind of wane out.
Right.
A little bit. And I hate that too, because I really, 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 really like Huntsville. I like the people that they have. And this year it does have a definitely an element of substance. So far with what Kimmi's going through.
Absolutely with what Kim is going through. But what do they need to do? What do you think Carlos needs to do to kind of save it? I don't know.
Oh, God.
We definitely, of course, we are all team Kimmi. But not even Kimmi would want to see herself sad on every episode, once she goes through this. So hopefully they'll show some of it, but not to the point of we all crying. So we let Wanda get away with everything because we just want to hug on Kimmi.
It's crazy. I'm kind of missing Wanda. We ain't even got nothing to talk about. Wanda definitely bought the drama. If I'm being honest with you, you need new players. And I don't mean like people should be let go or anything like that.
Yeah.
Because you want to continue to see them, but it's very obvious that Martell and Mel are going their separate ways.
Right.
And we know that was the biggest drama of this. They are the ones that drew us in.
Yeah. So here's something I was thinking about, though, with Destiny having her cousin on, and her cousin owns her own cosmetic line. Mm-hmm. Does she seem TV worthy where we might want her to stay and see what could happen, with those two as, members of the show? My answer to that would be no. But what do you think? She feels like anything exciting where maybe Carlos should keep her around?
I didn't get enough to figure that out yet.
Yeah.
Like, we don't know what her dynamic is. Like, I actually like Destiny, but generally speaking, I like her. I think she's a pretty cool person. But because there are so many elements of her life she can't share, and she doesn't really bring drama in a way, I don't know where she fits in.
Yeah.
It's not that, I'm not trying to get anybody fired or anything like that. I don't know exactly where she fits this group at this point. That's all.
Yeah, I mean, I like Destiny too. I wish she could bring more to the show, and maybe she will, because she is still hanging out with Martell whenever Martell's around. And we know that Martell is going to spend a little bit of time on Atlanta. Will Sheree be spending time on Huntsville? Maybe they can bring that in a little bit. I don't know that she would want to, but Destiny
God,
and that foursome, they've been double dating.
I can't wait to see that. Like, I mean, I don't know if y'all heard the rumors about Kenya and Martell, and I'm not surprised either.
Well, yeah, I've heard the rumors about them getting into it, but I don't. Have you heard what they like said to one another?
No,
Yeah.
but I'm not surprised, because Kenya is. It's just like, I think it was you who said that you found out about Huntsville. Was that Montanique that found out about Huntsville from Kenya? Because
it was probably Montanique.
Yeah, okay. Well, Kenya really, really, really liked this show. And if you remember, she talked fondly. Yeah, she loved this show. She was a big advertiser. Montanique said that's how she found out about it.
Really? Okay.
I think she did an interview with Carlos or something.
Yeah.
And they were talking about it. And she was like really into it.
Yeah.
Well, Martell, I think she liked Martell, generally speaking. But Kenya's the type of girl that if she doesn't get what she wants, she then immediately sees that person as her enemy. And if she didn't get the response from Martell that she felt, I don't want to say worthy of, or that she didn't like, I could see her very easily going against him. But Martell is from Alabama, baby. And I call them boys in Alabama. They are the most getting involved in a woman's business, but masculine with it. Like Peter, Peter, you know, he'll go toe to toe with a woman.
I don't like that either.
I know a lot of people don't bother me. I think it's funny.
No, I mean, because he can be a little bit petty, which
Martell is like
not always comfortable to see a man being petty with a woman over gossipy type. I wouldn't want to see that.
Well, it's never, Martell doesn't stick his business in business that don't involve him. Now, he's not, Peter was very similar. Peter, well, that's not always true about me. I'm just going to say that. Martell ain't going to sit up here and get in the middle, just like he didn't when Mel and even Wanda was going at it. Now, if you involve him, then he's going to step in and say something, but he can step to the side. Peter had an opinion about anything.
Yeah.
And it wasn't just including his wife, I guess is my point. Because I remember specifically when Nene and Kenya got into it. Remember, Nene was getting an award. That had nothing to do with Cynthia. So I can kind of understand when, you know, your wife is involved, you should have an opinion.
Yeah.
But that wasn't the case.
But see,
let's get on the Huntsville.
I see Martell as one who's always getting in people's business if it will help them look bad along with him. He's quick to bring out somebody else's business.
Oh, he will bring out your business, but you have involved him. He's not the person that's going to, I can't think, well, let me just say this. I can't think of a reason off the top of my head. You all might. If you could think of one, type it in the comments, because maybe you can remember a time that Martell got in some business that didn't involve him.
Well, it involves him.
Okay, I mean, he got it. You can't talk about me and then I can't talk about you.
It involves him because let's just say it's between him and Melody back in the days when they were together and he was cheating. But Martell would drag other people into their business so that he wasn't the only one looking bad. And he did that on multiple occasions.
He did that particularly with Marceau. But we have to be honest about Marceau and Tisha. Although I'm team Marceau and Tisha now, let's be honest about season 1 and most of season 2. They were pretty catty about some pretty heavy stuff that Mel and Martell was going through. Yeah, and now that we know for real what the deal was, that all of that, you got an extra phone? You had a relationship with the girlfriend? Now that we know how involved they were, they were bringing up stuff that I know was irritating him. Like in retrospect, go back and rewatch it. We know.
I mean, but are you saying they were bringing up stuff that irritated Martell?
Yeah, absolutely.
So, and you're saying that's why he went and kind of drug their business out?
I absolutely believe that. If you know the deal, you know I'm messing with a girl. And you didn't matter. You didn't been with her. She called you to get money from me. But you gonna wait till we film it and you gonna talk about her? Like, I'm already dealing with a lot at home.
Yeah.
Like, your friends are supposed to help you, man, not add to it, not laugh at it, not sit in your bedroom and make comments like, I heard he got a boo.
But bringing somebody else into it only makes it more magnified. If you would, it almost makes his problems bigger than they would have been had we not known that all of them was in Atlanta with the coleslaw, you know, and the what you call the football playing girls.
It also makes you I understand why he came back as hard as he did second season. I get it. I ain't saying he was right, but I understood why he was like, I ain't going down this sinking ship by myself now.
Yeah. I get it.
So I get it.
Yeah.
But anyway, let's get back to this episode.
Yes, let's do.
Okay, so the episode starts off, I've asked that, with Stormy, Mel, and Tiffany discussing Stormy's event.
Yes.
And there was something interesting that I thought about, particularly that, and that was, you tell me what you think. Mel mentioned that Destiny invited her to the photo shoot. Did you see what Destiny posted?
I did, and I'm glad she posted that.
And you remember what she posted?
Yeah, she posted saying, I didn't invite her nowhere. This is some production set up, basically. Right. And Mel lied, unless, she said Mel lied, but did Mel lie, or was that what Mel was told?
Maybe I have no idea.
Maybe by a producer, Mel was told, Destiny wants you to come see her at this, at this photo shoot. So the producers, that's also shady. They're shady as heck. And it's how involved they are sometimes when the show isn't on, between the days with, sometimes they're so involved that by the time I'm looking at the show, I feel like I've already seen it because I heard
that happens a lot with me.
Saw a little bit of that. But anyway, I thought that was interesting. That because Mel definitely said, yes, she invited me. She wanted me to come. I don't know why. She was shady this time a little bit.
Right. Yeah. Well, okay, so I thought that was interesting. And I will say this. My notes say my notes literally say compliment Mel on this, Joy.
Oh, what?
Y'all think I be hating on Mel.
And you do, but that's okay. What was complimenting her for?
I have to admit, although she gave little shady looks, that could have been production. And they little dramatic music they use when somebody turn their head a certain way or look up. It could have been anything. I do take that kind of stuff into account. But I will admit, I thought inviting Martell and his mom on vacation with her and her mom and the kids was a huge step.
Yeah, it was.
And it was very emotionally mature.
Yeah, it was. But look how interesting it was when she told Tiffany and Stormy about that, and they were like,
shocked.
What?
Yes.
Extra shocked. Stormy was like, okay, I get all that, but why?
Yeah.
I thought that was interesting.
Yeah. Because it was such a change.
Yeah, it was. It was.
I don't want to be around him. I'm protecting my peace.
Yeah.
And I do wonder, had she been served papers for
Custody.
Yeah, for custody at that point.
Because
I do wonder about it.
If she had, are you saying you don't think she would have invited them?
I have no idea. I would assume no. It could have been a way to try to smooth things over, like we ain't got to do this, which would have been fine. I think that is I think from what I've heard about their divorce and her first filing, which was public, she filed. And in her filing, she was very, very even-handed.
Yeah.
Like off the top, there were things they just didn't have to fight about. They were like, look, let's not disband, but let's close every business of ours and yours. And we can start anew under a new name where neither is attached.
And that was good.
And that was good. We can share joint custody. We'll come up with our own plan. No judge should have to tell us. If a week works for you, or if 2 weeks works for you, because I think they've rotated both of those, we'll do it. All those things have happened. I will say this. To my understanding, the first half of this season was filmed when Melanie had taken the kids away from him for that month. That's why I was so contentious.
Okay.
And now that was settled, this may be why there's a little openness here.
Yeah. And is that openness still going on? I'd like to know.
Oh,
because
God,
they had some hiccups, right?
Because that whole
when things are recorded.
That Instagram war that we saw this summer, I don't think they were filming.
Yeah, so that was pretty interesting. But what else happened? You said you don't think they were filming. What am I thinking of?
I could be wrong because I know he was very date specific in that text, one of those text messages, in that argument that they had, he was clear that this happened this day, and I hadn't seen my children for 50 some odd days.
Yeah,
I think that was happening during filming, and I could be wrong. If it is, neither one of them brought it up in filming.
Yeah.
So either way it go, either on this end or the other, because we know it was before. We know that, to my understanding, this was happening in January and February.
Okay. Because
of somebody's birthday. Somebody's birthday is in there.
Yeah. I don't remember which one, but I do remember him.
Yeah, it was a birthday that he
talking
missed.
About that. Yeah.
And he mentioned that date. That's how I could gauge about what time frame it was. But neither one of them mentioned it on the second half, which started, we know, around Memorial Day.
Right. And when did the Wanda thing happen? Or the Destiny event?
Oh, that was Memorial Day weekend. I remember that day because I was at a restaurant sitting outside waiting on my cousin.
Yeah.
And Jamila was already my daughter was already with me. And I was reading it online. I was saying, girl, this is juicy. I'm just watching the videos. And it was Memorial Day weekend. That's how I know. Yeah, it was Memorial Day week. Because I didn't have work. It was a Sunday. Oh, no, it was a Saturday. I knew I didn't have work then. What I mean is I teach. So school had ended is what I mean.
So how do you think the trip went though? I mean,
it's so far it looks okay. I mean, it was a lot of fluff here. But she was very accommodating, I thought.
She was.
Although he kind of mentioned about being on the main floor. The reality is everybody can. This was a house that, everybody's bedroom ain't upstairs. I thought she handled that well.
Just enjoy the free trip.
Yeah, well, I don't know if you should necessarily say that because she probably ain't paid for that trip either. Production probably did.
Did the show pay for you?
Probably. Usually, it's not like they had. They drove. So
they drove 5 hours.
Yeah. I mean, I've drove to Destin. picked up my daughter literally from Huntsville
Oh,
and
wait a minute,
drove
but,
to Destin.
you don't think you think the show paid for it?
Oh yeah.
But I don't think that. Only reason I say that is because the way she mentioned, just enjoy the free trip. It's free for her too then. But so I thought, I thought just based on the way she said it, that she was being a little bit shady, saying, I paid for all this, just enjoy it. But that's not how you took it.
Yeah,
I thought that was a bit much.
Yeah, people were saying in the group, she sure don't have no problem telling folks who paid
and
for
that's
what.
kind of where I was like, so maybe they didn't pay for it, because she definitely said that.
It's possible. I know in the Housewives, they do.
Yeah,
they may not pay for swanky, they may not pay for, that was one of the questions at BravoCon, that they pay for the trips, but what they don't pay for is like, if you want different accommodations, you want a private plane and all that, they'll
pay for the basics.
But they'll pay for your room, all your meals. Yeah, like that's a thing.
Yeah. So I don't know. I don't think they paid for this trip though. I could be wrong.
It's possible.
Just based on the way that she said that.
Do y'all think
kids were happy?
Huh?
The kids seemed happy.
You remember that part where like a couple of them, Stormy and them mentioned it, and also Marcel did too. I think that was last week. Do you think it's a bad idea that they go on vacation together, considering their children are young and possibly could, be hopeful that their parents are going to give? Oh, and we got to talk about Martell even being hopeful that they could get back together.
Good idea for them to come. I don't think it was a bad. I think it's a good idea. If you have that many kids that are used, at least 3 of those are used to these trips every year, don't make it seem separated or now divorced and never have that trip again. So I think their kids have seen and heard so much that they know this does not mean that we're getting back together. But of course, I think Melody and Martell still had to have that they were all there together. I think that is just a comforting situation, So I was glad to see it.
They said key things that I love, and I used to try. I've had conversations with my girls about that. It's creating good memories. Yeah. Like in life, we gonna have bad ones. I want the good ones to outweigh the bad ones.
Absolutely.
So why, hopefully you forget that mom and dad even acting like a fool last year and a half, and remember this beautiful beach. And when you come to Destin, this was a good place for you, and hopefully maybe a good place for your family when you have one and get older.
Yeah. So do you think that he is, because he said this, do you think when he made the comment about, of course I want my kids to be hopeful. I want to be hopeful. Of course, we don't know what the future is going to hold. I took it as he kind of meant all that for, I would love to have my family back. Of course I'm hopeful. Of course I want the kids to be hopeful. He didn't say that specifically, but that's what I got from all of that. He did
No,
say.
That's what he said. He all but said that.
But did he say those words though? I want my
He
family
said,
back.
I'm hopeful. He said the reality is we don't know what's going to happen in the future.
Right.
One of the reasons why I do like Martell is that there is a caveman part of him. He's kind of brute. But one of the things I do like about him, and that's one of the things that, I love that he can, when he's not angry, he has no problem expressing himself. Like this has happened like a few times. And Marcel is the type that'll joke about something. Martell is the type that'll tell you, no, like he's always
make everything more uncomfortable.
I don't know if it makes things uncomfortable. Martell knows the reality. He's not a stupid man, and he knows the mistakes that he made. But I don't think that I think that in the back of his mind, Martell sees what I used to see, and I saw a heck of a couple with some really good chemistry. And I used to say all the time, I would not be surprised later on in life if they find themselves back together.
You said that, or you think
Yeah, I said that a couple of seasons, like when they
I
first
don't see
divorced.
that happening.
I'm not saying today. I ain't saying
Yes, but
tomorrow.
I
But if
think
they are single 10 years from now,
yes.
all their children could be grown. And it could be, what's their baby name? Sugar Mama.
Mm-hmm.
Sugar Mama could be at her sweet 16 birthday
Oh my God, that would be
party.
so cute.
And
But wasn't Martell that? I mean, when was this recorded? I mean, because wasn't he dating Sheree at the time? How are you trying to move on with your
no, he
life?
started dating Sheree a little bit later.
So that means he was dating that other girl from the real medicine people, LA or whatever, the tall girl that came to his wine event.
They never even showed any of that footage.
So
they never showed any of that footage because that's date specific. You can actually Google.
He was dating somebody at the time,
a blogger, because that's the girl that Candy knows, and they went to Candy's one of Candy's restaurants, and that was
Martell
her.
Did?
Huh?
Martell went?
Yeah, whoever this other girl. So it was a girl. I don't know who she was, but she filmed with Martell as his girlfriend. She actually did a live.
Okay.
Huh?
So Candy has now seen Martell with some girl, and now her friend Sheree.
Yeah, she talked about that.
She said,
remember she was saying that he was dating some girl. I don't know who she is, but whoever this girl was, and Candy claims that they sat in a certain place and called press and to take pictures. Candy said that. And she thought he was kind of a thirst trap or whatever. So when she at first heard, she said that at reunion when she doesn't know about Martell.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, okay.
Yeah. Oh, somebody said that Simply Beautiful said that Martell had already Melanie had already planned it.
Production asked her to include. Oh, so the trip was planned, and you think production is the reason she asked, not that she was being a big girl all on her own and trying to put aside differences. Then maybe that might explain some of the comments that she made to make sure that he knows she paid for it. Right. Make sure he knows there's not going to be any of us getting back together. You sleep over here, I sleep over there. She made a few interesting comments on the trip that I thought kind of stuck out a little bit. Mm-hmm. I don't know.
Simply Beautiful. I think she got an emergency stay. Okay, I'm commenting on this. The courts kept the kids away. I think she did an emergency situation. You're correct. But I think they did an investigation, and when the investigation was complete, everything resumed back to normal. And also, I wanted to something Latoria said.
It was a lady.
It was a lady at the wine event. Yes.
Yeah, that's who. Yeah. Is that the one? Mm-hmm. So that's the one that was at Candy's with.
Yes. Okay. And that's supposed to be the one that there was a video flirting around even before filming even aired, before this whole season. I'm talking back in February or March, whenever it aired, who said that she was filming with Martell. She showed the house. She was in the house walking through it and stuff and explaining who she was. It was supposed to be his love interest. But for whatever their reasons, they didn't air none of that footage.
They didn't air any of it. But if some of the stuff had to cross over, if he is still dating other people, which it sounds like he's done a couple times now, how are you still hopeful to get back with your ex-wife? That's not weird.
Because your ex-wife don't want to get back with you.
But he wants to get back with her. So why are you continuing to say
I don't know necessarily just because you may know, you ever cared about somebody and realize that this just ain't our time. Maybe later in life, this just ain't our time. Because why are you talking about it?
If this ain't our time, why are you talking about it? I think that's weird. That's all
Oh, I ain't arguing that.
I'm just saying. With him hoping to get back with your ex-wife. I
don't know if he's hoping, but I think that's
only because that's what he said.
I think, he did kind of say that. I think it's in the back of his mind.
Okay.
I think it is in the back of his mind.
Yeah.
But I mean, how it flows, if it'll happen, don't nobody know.
Yeah.
Oh, also, is this where they get COVID? Because don't they get COVID? You don't remember airing on in real time?
Saying that her baby was sick because of them.
Yeah. So if you all didn't know, during this weekend, Tank or Martell Jr. takes one of their phones and goes live. That's how we knew that they were on vacation together.
Okay, because we saw. I remember that Mel and Martell him in the kitchen.
Because of that live, Ariane went.
Did she lose her mind,
baby? Because she did it twice. She did it when she saw this video. Then when he started dating Sheree, she did it again. She basically was tweeting all kind of explicit things. I ain't gonna even repeat.
Yes.
It's always of a sexual nature. She always brings up their sexual history in her reads, I guess, about him. And he does that. She does that. I'm sorry. And it was so funny. Martell tweeted to her, I thought she changed, but I was wrong. I think that was with Sheree, though. I think that was with Sheree, not.
I think it was with Sheree too. When she
found out about Sheree, it was so funny to me.
Yeah.
Not in a bad way, because she's a human being. She got feelings, and she got wrapped up in this man. But I felt bad that I can't even imagine putting my life on hold for a married man having a baby by him, and I'm not even on his whatever. I'm you have to.
If that was really her goal, is to really be with him, then she needs to understand that he would not be with someone that acts as childish as she did. So, even if it was just the whole sexual part of it that he enjoyed, she has to know that when y'all not together, your actions are going to be still looked at by him. And the sex is no longer there, allegedly, when he's with Sheree or whatever. So, I mean, does she really expect him to be with her? Do you really think she expected that?
Yeah, it doesn't make any sense to me. I always go back to, I don't understand a man that would destroy his marriage for a woman he wouldn't even be with. It don't make sense to me. It just does not make sense to me.
But it makes sense to me. I mean, it doesn't make sense to me why they would ruin their marriage. But it does make sense to me that, a lot of men, when they're cheating, that they're cheating with people that they wouldn't want to marry. So, I got busted cheating. Yes, we had another child, but not somebody that they really would have been with anyway. Or even on the girl side, the girl might be like, well, I would never really want to be seen in public with you anyway. So, oops, I don't want to get caught. I mean, that's just.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. All right, wait a minute. What else? We've been talked about nobody else but Martell and his mama. But speaking of his mama, Melody's mom said she hasn't seen her in a while, so she's looking to clear the air. What air needs to be cleared? Was there something that I forgot?
I don't know. I mean, it was weird to me because they were discussing whether or not Mel was lazy. It's very obvious to me.
Yes.
It's very obvious to me that, and Mel actually presented this. I always tell people to go back to the very first episode.
What?
She was okay with presenting this. That presenting the very first episode of Love and Marriage, first season, first episode. The first introduction to the Holtz that we get is Mel laying in the bed, getting tea from her husband as he made breakfast for the children with cereals, nothing complicated, and did his girls' hair, brushed his boys, got them dressed for school. And according to her, not me, not Martell, but her, that was their morning routine.
Okay.
Now,
but why is that her being seen as lazy?
Well, because it's not, but it kind of gets the impression that Martell did a lot of heavy lifting in the house. that
Oh
they
my God.
definitely lived a marriage that did not have traditional roles.
Okay, but that's fine. Not everything has to be traditional. But if
Correct.
the roles were reversed,
Mm-hmm.
it would be, look at Mel doing what she's supposed to do. That's what you're supposed to do to your husband. So why is it seen as the woman is now lazy because the husband is doing all this for her? Now
Well,
I think those little parts right there just really bother me when you hear stuff like that being said. Ain't nothing lazy about Melody. So if she's
well, I don't. No. Not lazy in a way of maybe that wasn't a good way. Although I think his mother did say,
yeah, she did say that.
I don't think that she's lazy. Obviously, she's a workaholic.
Yeah.
What I probably more specifically should have said is that she's lazy at home. That she does her heavy lifting outside of the home. Inside of the, I mean, it's in.
Yeah, but I think you know what I'm saying.
Different people view their lives differently, and that's okay. Some people find fulfillment in their careers. I'm one of those people that
being spoiled.
My career ain't fantastic.
Yeah, but I think it's wrong for people to say that she's just spoiled by her husband. Well, that she's lazy because her husband does everything. Where when the roles are reversed, that husband isn't called lazy; he's called being taken care of by his wife. So the fact, as a mother, if I hear you calling my daughter lazy, I would be offended too. I would really, but I don't know if that's why Miss Van and her what they need to clear out. But look, my child's not lazy. Was your son lazy at any time when Melody was spoiling him? He would never be accused of being lazy for that. That would just be the expected role. Please.
I'm not going to argue that, but I think he would be considered pretty bummish if he was at the house and you saw her doing everything and he was sitting in the bed chilling. I know that that's not true. I mean, we know that is true. If we literally saw Mel running around trying to get stuff together and make breakfast, and it looked pretty smooth.
Anybody would say anything about it.
Yeah, it wasn't like it was a big deal. It wasn't like, stuff boiling over the stove.
Yeah.
And he trying to do 50 things. I'm not saying that, but I'm just saying, if you watch a woman do a whole lot and the guy sitting at home, I'm not diminishing my career, by the way, Latoria. I'm just saying my career is not it's not as exciting. I teach. So, while I enjoy my job, it's just that it's a job. I always have to remind people, I have a good girlfriend that's a workaholic, that your career is going to be one line in your obituary. How you treat people, what you do outside, that's what's going to fill up your obituary. So I'm not giving myself to my job and come home and be exhausted. That I'm just not going to do that. I'm not going to give 100% of myself to my job and not at home. I'm not saying that that's what she did. That's just how I view life.
That's what his mother is saying she did.
I think that's how his mother interpreted it.
Yeah. And
that's how she interpreted it.
Yeah, and that's wrong for her to think that.
Well, I mean, Martell kind of argued that
she's being labeled as something that he would not be labeled if the roles were reversed.
I'm not arguing that, but Martell also had an issue with that as well. Like, they were using very crafty language, like dominant parent, and I'm like, I would like for you to be the dominant parent. They were using creative ways to be able to say, girl, I need your buddy home. It's the things I want to do too. So you take it on too much. I mean, there was a whole season of them talking about that.
Yeah, I do remember that. Yeah, I remember it. And yeah, Martell, okay.
But there wasn't that much in this. I think
there was not a lot.
This was an episode of fluff.
Right.
I think this was an episode to take us into, I guess, what's left. It's only 4 more episodes left in this season.
So why do you think Marcel, the preview that we saw, why would, what's his name, Martell invite others to their family vacation?
Girl, that had to be production. That's all I kept saying. If this ain't no bull crap, I don't know what it is.
Yes, because Melody didn't look happy. And I'm like, oh, I could understand. Why are they coming out here? And then Tisha, and then she's bringing the girls that, Grandma said that was going to cut the hair off. And That's tacky, but we don't know the full thing.
Well,
That clip just caught my interest.
I can't, where they staying? They not staying at their house, right?
I don't know. No telling.
Because it wasn't no more bedrooms, right?
I don't think so, but there's always a floor.
I don't know.
Yeah,
well, I think this, like I said, this particular episode, it was a lot of fluff. It wasn't a whole lot.
What else even happened?
Does anybody have any questions before we leave?
I can't see the comments this time.
Did he put some oatmeal on the stove? Simply beautiful. She said, I didn't even notice it. She said he literally put some oatmeal on the stove.
That's all.
I don't know what he did. I can't remember, but I just remember him in that kitchen, and I remember doing his hair. That always makes me smile when men do girls' hair.
Why?
Because my daddy got custody of me when my parents broke up, and I was only like 2 or 3.
Right.
And all my pictures from the age like 3 to about, I think he married my stepmom when I was like maybe 9 or 10. Girl, thank God I had somebody. I had my ponytails was everywhere but down. Like literally every birthday party. It is so funny too. Yeah, men, they try. They really do. That because I even smiled once when he braided one of his daughter's hair. He put her braid back on. She had like little kind of like dookie braid. We would call them dookie braids. I don't know what they call them now.
And Martell crocheted it back or whatever.
And he put her hair back on. I said, girl, I was proud of him too. But, yeah. Okay. But anyway, this episode was very boring, but good.
It was
good to see them in a better place. But all I kept saying is, boy, I wish they had got that Twitter war. That was it Instagram war on tape. Because it was
how come they didn't? Did you see somebody post recently everything that's happened on the reality shows that is not being recorded? So like what you're saying, everything that happened on Instagram, we wish it would have been while the show was on there. So much is happening that we don't see that doesn't get recorded. So much is happening. It comes up on the show sometime, not even all the time. We're missing a lot, if you ask me.
A whole lot.
Yeah.
But it's crazy. If you don't know it, sometimes you don't even understand where the anger or frustration is coming from. Because it's just like right now on Atlanta, like we are missing Portia get married. Portia had a whole bridal shower this weekend, and they look like they super turned up.
Yes, and who?
Nene got a whole married boyfriend.
Yes, right. Yep. But wait a minute.
And they aren't boys.
We could talk all day. Let me ask real quick, not to go off on that, but so Nene is doing something illegal to help her ex-husband. Have you seen that?
Her ex-husband.
To help her husband become divorced or something like that. Have you seen that title? Let me look it up real quick.
What could you possibly do illegal?
That's what I was going there.
Because I thought that they were divorced.
No, they're not divorced.
And I thought they had, and then I thought that they already filed. So,
oh wow.
But anyway, we got about 12 minutes before we have to do Potomac, and that one, y'all, was hot.
Yes, it was.
So, if we don't have any more questions, I just want to thank you all for watching and participating. Follow us on Chatter Up. I don't have that little QR code. See,
you don't?
Let me see if she has it over here in the banners.
Look at Brookie Daily.
Let's see. Nope. Oh, that's for the ticker.
We'll send it out always anyway.
I don't know where it is. Okay. I don't know where it is. Okay, so yeah, please follow us. We're Chatter Up on Instagram, on YouTube,
Facebook, podcast.
Twitter, yeah, on everything. We're chat. Period. Her. Period. Up. Chat her up.
Chatter.
All right, so I guess we finna get on out of here, people.
Yeah, we're gonna be back in 10 minutes, or you want to go log in early, or what? Just wait 10 minutes.
We could log in 10 minutes.
10 minutes. We'll be back in 10 minutes, you guys, for Potomac.
Yeah, we'll see you in Potomac. Please come see us.
Yeah.
Peace out. I ain't mean to do that. Okay. Peace out, y'all. Peace.
All right, I'll talk to you in 10 minutes.